What's going on, y'all? This is RM Godly representing Team D Source. Just had to put my little 2 cents in about this whole Bernard Hopkins racial comment thing that's been in the airwaves. Um, you know, basically last week or earlier this week, Bernard Hopkins said something to the effect of Manny Pacquiao wouldn't be able to beat African American fighters because they have a certain style that's embedded in them. And he was saying that, again, insinuating, I guess, that that Floyd Mayweather would beat him because he embodies the style. Um, first things first. The media, I've noticed, is doing a great job in trying to convince people that Bernard Hopkins is saying Manny Pacquiao is racist and that he's afraid of African American fighters. They're trying to make it seem like Bernard Hopkins himself is racist. Now, in the past, Bernard Hopkins has said things that might insinuate that, with his Joe Calzaghe comment saying that, he'll never lose to a white boy. Personally, I think that was more hype than anything else, but, to sell the fight. But, again, it's kind of sad that the media pounces on this, and what's even more sad is, people are quick to believe it, especially now, because Floyd Mayweather is not really looked upon as a role model. Let's get something straight here real quick. What Bernard Hopkins is saying, which makes perfect sense, and not because I'm African American myself, but he's saying that he feels Manny Pacquiao would have problems with someone who embodies a style that most African Americans seem to have. And the style, in my opinion, revolves around a certain rhythm that is found. What's ironic about this whole thing, is a lot of people are saying that, Manny Pacquiao himself and his team do not duck certain fighters. I personally don't think that Manny Pacquiao himself ducks fighters. I do believe, however, that he is very well protected, and it's hard to deny that. And the reason why I say this is because, to kind of back what Bernard's saying in a certain way, Manny Pacquiao has never fought an African American fighter who embodies his style. Matter of fact, I don't even think he's fought an African American fighter, period. They were offered a fight, and it's funny, it's ironic that a lot of people say that, man, Pacquiao fights whoever. Freddie Roach actually was behind the ducking of a certain African American fighter who does embody the style, and this fighter's name is Shane Mosley. Somebody who Floyd Mayweather actually fought after being told that he never would. And they actually ducked Shane Mosley twice, so I kind of find it ironic in both ways that, what Bernard's saying, if you want to talk about in terms of African American fighters, is true. He has never fought any, and it's ironic that a lot of people are quick to say that certain other fighters in the game right now duck fighters, yet they don't realize that the person that they're saying doesn't actually has. So, now real quick, I think what Bernard's talking about, again, back to the style, back to the African American style, is found historically among a lot of black fighters in the past and present. Just to give you a few, Sugar Ray Robinson has a certain style. Muhammad Ali has his style. Floyd Patterson has his style. Even all the way up to fighters like, obviously Sugar Ray Leonard, Donald Curry, Mildred Taylor, fighters like Pernell Whitaker, Bernard Hopkins himself, Roy Jones, James Toney, Evander Holyfield, Shane Mosley. There's a lot of fighters. Tim Bradley right now, and obviously Floyd Mayweather, Aaron Pryor, fighters like that. This is a certain style that would possibly give Manny Pacquiao some problems, and I think it would because it's kind of hard not to notice that Manny Pacquiao's last 4 or 5, maybe 6 fighters who he's faced aside from Juan Manuel Marquez and Morales, they actually just stand there and chase Pacquiao around, like moving punching bags. I mean, you saw the Margarito fight. Pacquiao did a great job, but Margarito just stood there, and he did the same thing that Joshua Clyde did the same thing that Ricky Hatton did the same thing that Cotto did the same thing that Oscar De La Hoya did. I mean, really just stand there and let this guy wail at him. Again, Manny Pacquiao's great, but let's see him in there with somebody who actually moves, who actually has rhythm. The closest thing that I could think of that comes to this was when he fought Marquez and when he fought Morales. Granted, he did win 4 out of those 5 fights that I'm talking about, but in all honesty, he didn't look as spectacular as he does when he fights, moving punching bags. One thing real quick about the Cotto fight that I noticed is that when Cotto was boxing, not just chasing him around and trying to knock him out, when he was boxing, when he was on his toes, bloodied up, he was actually, snapping Manny's head back with some jabs and things like that. Now, it was too late at that point, but it was just interesting to notice that when, somebody was moving around, Pacquiao wasn't really as effective as we're all used to seeing. So I find that kind of interesting. But back to the point, again, Bernard Hopkins, and a lot of people know this. The media knows this. I mean, if you sit down and you really think about it and you remove emotion from it, what Bernard Hopkins is saying is he feels that Manny Pacquiao would have problems with a certain style, which happens to be embedded in a lot of African American fighters historically and today. I would like to see him do that against a Roy Jones type of fighter. I'd like to see him do what he does to Antonio Margarito, to even a Zab Judah type fighter. I mean, I think that would be a great fight. Because again, Zab has a little bit more movement. Kind of favor Pacquiao in that fight, but I would like to see that. I'm not saying that Manny would lose to all these guys. I'm just saying it would be interesting to see how he does against somebody who just doesn't stand there. A lot of people are getting this misconception that Floyd is just going to stand there. If they fight, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that Floyd is going to stand there and chase him around. I think that he's going to counterpunch him a lot. He's going to do a lot of what Morales did to him, to Pacquiao, just a lot more effectively. But again, it's a shame that a lot of people will just believe what they want to believe, and they'll sort of just completely and utterly just shut anything out. But let's make some things clear here. Bernard Hopkins, I feel, was just making the point that, again, Manny Pacquiao would have problems with a certain style that African American fighters have. Let's make it clear that Manny Pacquiao, has never fought an African American fighter, which is kind of ironic. Let's make it clear that Manny Pacquiao and his team, or not necessarily Manny Pacquiao, but his team definitely has protected him from certain fighters who embody the style. Juan Guzman is another example. He's not African American, but he does fight with the style that I'm talking about. But again, I really don't think that Bernard Hopkins was being racist. I don't think that Manny Pacquiao is afraid of African American fighters. I don't think that Freddie Roach is ducking African American fighters. I believe he's ducking a certain style. So let's just leave it at that. But all in all, I hope that that Floyd and Pacquiao get it on in the ring, because as fans, fight fans, we deserve it. But let's just keep it clear. All this extra stuff, it's all hype. So that's my 2 cents, and hopefully we see the fight.